Hey, how you doing? I'm your humble host, Fizz Ed Music, and this right here is Urban Politics. Want to thank you all for liking and subscribing as you do. Please, as soon as you have a chance, take your little cell phone over to YouTube. Like and subscribe. Fizz Ed Music, Urban Politics. But without further ado, I want to jump right into it like a car and drive because there's all types of tasty and delicious. I'll still lick my fingers. Delicious politics to get into, ladies and gentlemen. Before I do all that, I got to wet my whistle. Right about now, I'm sipping on a little 99 watermelons. I don't even like watermelons, but I will drink a 99 watermelons real quick right in front of you. Watch me. Ah. I'm going to chase that with some Sutter Home. Woo-wee. Uh-huh. A little pink Moscato. Trump is about to be president. I need a little something. And it would be stronger than this, so please, bear with me. This was good for me. Anyway, let's get all into this politics because there's all types of tasty stuff to talk about, right? First thing I'm going to play, let's talk about something that's hot. Mass deportation. Mass deportation, okay. An overwhelming amount of Americans agree with it, believe it or not. What are some drawbacks to mass deportation? Increased prices on foods and goods. They say this is what will happen. Less people paying into Social Security. That makes sense because they were saying that's a lot of people don't know that. There's, immigrants come over here and they work and they end up paying into Social Security, but they can't use those benefits. So that means there's more money in that pool for Americans who can use those benefits, right? So think about that. Family members being torn apart. A friend of mine, he watches the show, my big brother D, shouts out to him. He was telling me about a man that he knew personally who had custody of his 7, 8 kids. This guy was from somewhere in Africa. And a while ago when they were deporting people, they deported this brother. Got sent to someplace, and actually they dropped him off someplace in Africa. It took him 6 months to get back in Africa to where he's from there. That's just a mess, and I think that might have happened last time Trump was president. This guy got caught up in that and got deported. The man had, I think, like 7 or 8 children, and they just sent him to Africa, oh well. And where are those kids at? Maybe in children's services, Lord knows where. But see, this is the type of stuff, you don't hear about these stories. And like I said, he knew that guy personally. He said, man, that was my boy, is a friend of mine, right? That happens, ladies and gentlemen, tear families apart. Severe labor force cut. You already know they were talking about fruit and vegetables going rotten in fields because there was no one to pick them, right? Americans are not picking fruit and such in fields. They said that's hard work. They said a lot of Americans couldn't do it, period. And even if they could, you couldn't pay them enough to do it. Even if you did pay them $25, $30 an hour, they still wouldn't do it, right? So there's that. Actually, only 38% of Americans even support mass deportation. Now, that 38% is when you don't add these other factors in. So if you go out here and you ask people, when you do add these factors in, say you gave somebody that whole list and they'd hear all that and they'd still be like, man, we still need to deport anybody who's, we still need to, mass deportation. Get rid of anybody who's illegal or whatnot. That's that 38%. That 38% of Americans really don't care. They don't care if it's going to tear apart a family. They don't care if it leaves less money going into Social Security. They want them out of here. And I think a lot of that 38% comes from xenophobia and fear of a white minority. And I guess sometimes those things go hand in hand, right? Xenophobia is, of course, the fear of different cultures and such. And America has been changing for a while. What did the lady who had Acorn, they got all those people to vote, what did she say? That sister said that America was like a piece of toast in the oven. It is browning, and you cannot stop the browning of America. And that's what a lot of this is coming from. This 38%, a lot of these people want to stop the browning of America. America doesn't look like them anymore. Right? You know what I'm saying? So they're scared of that. That's also where the xenophobia come in. You got a lot of different people around now. I'm not gonna lie, I just left the store. There was a whole lot of different people there that needs to be there before. It is what it is. It does say on the Statue of Liberty, bring me your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. So we supposed to have open arms when it comes to immigrants. But now people kind of turned off by it. I got to check myself on that. Because I say, these were some young guys. These were some young African guys. And they were speaking their language. And they was just chilling. But you know, it's kind of different. You know what I'm saying? The vibe was kind of different. But they did their thing, and you know what I'm saying? None of them were being disrespectful, out of line, or disruptive, or none of that. You know, they were just speaking a language that was foreign to me. Oh well, is that big a deal? I don't think so. I need to deal with that, and I am dealing with that. The rest of us need to deal with that too. Not that big a deal. All of those young men were probably great workers somewhere. They were probably working at somebody's warehouse or whatever, doing a great job, being great human beings. You know what I'm saying? Just because here they are in a new country, and of course a lot of us feel like, well, you know, we're from here, we've been here. You know, why do we got to invite new people in to be cool with new people coming in? I guess that's supposed to be the spirit of America, and I hear that. I was seriously now I'm taking a little caveat. I got, you know what I'm saying, you know, not a caveat, but I'm gonna go off on a little tangent. A million years ago, I was dating a girl, and her grandmother had said to me, you know, she's like, I've been in this country for 80 years. I'm 80 some years old, Eddie. And I go down there to the welfare office, I can't get nothing. But them Somalians come over here, and they've been over here 10 minutes, and they go down there and get everything for them and their kids. I get it. I get it. People feel like that, you know? You know what I'm saying? There's a young lady, a Caucasian young lady who's a friend of my lady's. She had said to me, she said, you know, I'm not against immigration, but it's the fact that these resources are finite, and they don't even have enough resources for the Americans, for people like me who are from here, who are from this country. So what we look like bringing other people over or up in here and giving them those finite resources, I hear that too. I get it. I get it. And things can be worked out to take care of these things, but what we need is a path to immigration. And I'm going on record as saying that on this show. You're not going to see a path to immigration. Why? Because the Democrats want the votes and Republicans want the free and cheap labor. There it is. So that's that. So we'll see what happens with this, ladies and gentlemen, but it is what it is. Under presidents, there's always deportation. Not necessarily mass deportation, but a lot of people do get kicked out of the country, lo and behold, right? So under George Bush Jr., 2 million people got deported. But how about this? Under Barack Obama, 3.2 million people got deported. And I do remember Republicans making jokes calling him the deporter in chief. But Barack Obama is a law attorney, so he's going to follow the law. And that is the law. If you come into the country illegally, we deport you back to your country after a trial and some other legal stuff that goes down. That's what's up. I mean, I wasn't surprised to see these numbers because, like I said, Barack Obama he's a law lawyer. He's gonna follow the law, and that's what he did. So 3.2 million people got sent back to their home under Barack Obama. It is what it is, and they said a whole lot less got deported under Trump. They didn't even give a number. They just said a lot less than either of these presidents under Trump got deported. So isn't that interesting too? Think about that. Here's a guy who ran, right, and they say that he has a mandate. He's got a mandate now to do something about the border, to stop illegals from coming in. Is he really going to do that? Last time he was president, he didn't do it. And he ran on doing what? Building a wall. Building a wall to do what? Stop illegal aliens from entering the country, and he didn't do it. He stopped less illegal aliens. Or he sent less home than his predecessors. But his whole thing was ICE building a wall. Come on, people, wake up, man. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are still supporting this guy, wake up to that, because that's laughable. That was laughable to me. I thought they was going to say a whole bunch of people got sent home under Trump. No, a lot less, because he's not interested. He don't care about immigration either. He don't care about the border. Not for real. It's a great talking point. Republicans love that political football, and they're always going, and that's why they don't want to fix it either, as they showed. There was a vote that it came up to fix immigration, to do some things on immigration, and the Republicans didn't do it. And Trump claimed he didn't want to do it because he didn't want the Republicans and Joe Biden to get credit for it. There's that. But he also didn't want to do it because he don't want to do it. Ain't no money in fixing it. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about a professional slime ball, Matt Gaetz, that guy. Woo-wee. Here's a dude who they said would be on the Congress floor, talking about how he would chop up Viagra and snort it and then drink energy drinks so he could have sex with women all night long. These are jokes that the man would tell on the floor of Congress. So this is the kind of serious individual that you want to be your attorney general, he said sarcastically. This is ridiculous. This appointment was ridiculous, right? So he withdrew his nomination for the attorney general. Had to. In 2019, he paid 2 women to travel to New York, watch him on Fox News, then go to see Pretty Woman on Broadway, and then have sex with him. They had records of the Venmo payments, and they were labeled just because. Some of them were labeled just because, and then other ones were labeled, I got party favors, when he was talking about the drugs that he wanted. He labeled them on Venmo party favors. These are the people that Trump appoints. He appoints people who are just as intelligent as him, which is not much at all. This is ridiculous. This guy's appointment was laughable. How you gonna be the #1 attorney in the land and he got charged for having sex with underage girls? And they got text messages of him going back and forth talking about party favors and just because. Here's thousands of dollars just because. Nah, it's thousands of dollars because you went to New York, sat through a horribly boring meeting, so a horribly boring interview that he had at Fox News. And then you had to hump the dude. Excuse me, it's a family show. Then you had, I don't want to be crass, but then they had to have sex with this moron. So them girls earned every bit of that $10,000 that he paid to do it. You heard me right, ladies and gentlemen. $10,000 for one day. That's something, ain't it? But anyway, withdrew his nomination. He was saying that his nomination was being a distraction from the Trump administration's transition into the White House. He said, I want to be a distraction of that. Whatever. He would have never got it because even people in his own caucus was like, I'm not confirming that. Because when you confirm it, you going on record is confirming this guy who's a pedophile. When you confirm it, you're going on record is confirming a guy who paid a couple of underage, women to have sex with him. You know what I'm saying? He's in Congress. He's supposed to be a congressman, right? Kind of held to a higher standard, right? But when you vote for that, and it goes on record. And people in his own caucus didn't even want to vote for that. People in his own caucus wasn't even going to vote for it. When they brought it up to him, a lot of them had, it looked like a deer caught in headlights. Like, what? Trump did that? Trump did that because he don't care about. Because he don't care nothing about the Republican Party. They just too stupid to see it. Anyway, moving on. That is what it is. So Matt Gaetz will not be our attorney general, thank God. But there's a whole host of other buffoons that he done nominated for some positions in his cabinet. That is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That is what it is. And then they were saying that he did something. I need to find out the details on that. But basically, all these people are supposed to be being confirmed by both houses of government, Democrats and Republicans, but they did something kind of, freaky or whatever with the law or whatever with the rules to where on executive order, Trump could just nominate these people and throw them in there. Once again, I say it on this show all the time. I'm going to say it once again. The Republicans are evil, but they're so much better at the game of politics than Democrats. Because, like I said, and you can Google everything I'm telling you right now, because this is actual factual. You know what I'm saying? They did something hokey with the law to where they don't now. Both sides of government won't voir dire a candidate. He can just nominate somebody willy nilly. That's them being up on the game, man. They know what they're doing, man. They evil, but they really they know the tricks and they know the laws. They know the rules. They know the game better than Democrats, or maybe they just have more cohesiveness than Democrats. I don't know. Another story for another day. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about New York Times posting an interesting study. I thought this study was so interesting. And you'll think some of y'all might get offended by it, but oh well. The New York Times posted a study about Android users versus iPhone users, right? So they were saying Android users are more introverted. That's interesting. Android users are more introverted. Keep to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? They were saying iPhone users are extroverted. Outgoing people. And I'm going to tell you, I tell people and I tell the kids I work with all the time, I am an extrovert. I am. I walk into a room full of 3,000 people and hit the microphone in a heartbeat. It don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? I love that. I relish that. I love public speaking. I love talking to new people. I love meeting new people and learning about different walks of life. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm an Android user. I don't have an iPhone. I've never had an iPhone, never wanted an iPhone. I'm an Android user. But I am extroverted. But I could believe that iPhone users are more extroverted than Android users. I could believe that. Android users are more honest, nicer people. I believe that. I try to be honest. I am a nice person. Lord have mercy. Anyway, iPhone users are liars, but more adventurous and curious. iPhone users probably don't like hearing that. Android users are smarter with their money. iPhone users spend twice as much as Android users spend on everyday life each day. So they were saying like everyday items like deodorant, underwear, stuff like that. They said iPhone users spend twice as much on that type of stuff than Android users every day. I believe that. I don't know why I believe that, but I believe that. I do believe that. iPhone users are on their phones more than Android users. Yep. They also send twice as many texts and twice as many pics as Android users. I believe that all day because I don't send pics at all, really. And I don't even do a lot of texting, right? Because I'm not a young person. I don't do a whole lot of text. I'm in a couple of group chats with some other older brothers, such as myself. You know what I'm saying? One is watching the show. He gonna check this one out too. He watches every week or every other week when I post it. Jordan, my man, hey, my brother from another mother. So you know what I'm saying? I'm in a few group text chats and stuff like that, but I don't do a whole lot of texting and all that type of stuff too. I'm an Android user, and I'm also an older individual, so some of this stuff is kind of newer technology for younger people, but it is what it is. But that was real interesting to me right there. Does that right there mean that iPhone users are not as good as Android users? No, because I think people are individuals and every person is unique. But this was an interesting study because I'm not going to lie. I do think some of this stuff is true. I think some of this stuff bodes true and some of it doesn't. Which is which, you go ahead and make the determination because my time is up, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm out of here. Because I don't want to offend because I got friends that use both, so I ain't about to say nothing about either. All I'm saying is I'm an Android user. That is what it is. Listen, once again, I want to thank you all for liking and subscribing as you do. Please, as soon as you have a chance, take your little cell phone over to YouTube. Like and subscribe. Phys Ed Music, Urban Politics. Yeah. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, see you around like a donut.